done around the yard that I didn't manage to get to. Gets expensive if you don't do it. Would you?
Oh, man.
Yeah, could we, I picked up all their other stuff. Could you please set that aside there? Because that's not our stuff.
This is, all right.
I don't know if, where it's at 5:27, I don't know if Holly's gonna be joining. I mean, I can,
You have a sign sheet now?
no. I can make one.
Ow,
I
owie.
was gonna say, I have a piece of paper, can I put that down?
Yeah, that would suffice. Just write Conservation Commission 517 sign-in sheet. Thank you.
Just so you know, we are live.
All right, thanks, Jake. I will watch my mouth.
Never a problem.
All right.
Speak freely for another minute.
Green is on, right?
What's that?
Green means on?
Yes. You turned yours off?
Yeah.
All right.
What if I said something that I didn't want to say?
I think it's the best thing to say. All right. Let's see. Kristen is going to be joining us remotely. She has a conflict, so she couldn't attend in person. But I think everybody else is here, except for Holly. So I'm going to print some agendas for us. Hey, Kristen.
My child got a ride.
All right. Good to hear. Go ahead. I want to send Holly a text to see if she's coming. Oh, we have a sign-in sheet. It's a makeshift one. Bruce, you signed in for the select board one.
I saw the agenda after I signed it.
Yeah. Could you please sign in on this one too? All right, thank you. Our clerk is not here yet, so we're patching things up at the last minute.
So you want to go on Teams and do recording session and like the minutes?
What's that?
Since she's not here, is she coming?
She, I just texted her, so I don't know yet.
If she's not,
I have a Teams meeting running right now and it's recording.
did you do the,
Transcript?
yeah,
Yeah, that's enabled by default too. If she's not here, I'm gonna take the minutes myself, which I typically do in her absence.
we do have a hard stop at 6:40, so if I need to, I'll tune in
All right.
and leave.
Yeah, we'll try to get this. I think the last item and the first item are the big ones. Everything else in between should be pretty quick.
I need to pick her up in Upton, that's why.
Oh, I see. sorry to hear that. All right, well, I think we should get started. We good to go? All good? All right. All right, welcome to the Brookfield Conservation Commission. Today's date is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. The time is 5:32 p.m. I call this meeting to order. This meeting is being recorded. And in attendance, we have...
Live streaming as well.
All right, we are also live streaming. In attendance, we have our full commission today, which is great. And so we can get right into it. Our first agenda item. Oh, sorry, and our clerk is not here. She had an emergency come up. All right, but our first agenda item is for the Gay Road roadway reconstruction to review work completed and next steps. So since we last met, I've been in contact with Beth Coughlin from the Select Board, and she's worked with me to establish a point of contact for resolving the complaints that came up on this project. And we discussed that a bit in detail in our last meeting, but the next steps there were to review the work that has been completed. And Beth set us up with the contractor, Jimmy Pioppi, and I've been in contact with him to get us shop drawings that have been for the work completed up until this point. And yesterday he came through and provided that to us. He said he was also going to attend our meeting tonight, but he's not here yet, so if he comes in, we'll have a conversation too. But in addition to that, we also have Kyle from Highway, so we might have some questions for you as well. I don't think we're gonna make any definitive decisions tonight, but just kind of review what the work that's been done, and part of this might be a formal follow-up. So I sent to the commission the shop drawings that we got, and they're pretty well established. The key indicates in red all of the new drainage, and in teal it indicates the wetland flags. So I think that gives us a pretty decent idea of what is within our jurisdiction, and also the new drainage that's been done. It also indicates the road width as well, so that gives us an idea of where the road has been widened, and if any of that is relative to area within wetlands jurisdiction. That's something that we would pay attention to. Did the commission have a chance to review these plans?
A little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Is this technically an as-built then? I mean, is this actually work that was done? No.
As-built.
As-built.
As elevations and engineer stamp. That would be final project completion.
Yeah, this is kind of more of a shop drawing, I suppose you could call it, where it's, would that be an appropriate way to reference it, Kyle? A shop drawing? Proposed?
During construction, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the work that's been
It's completed.
assessed up until this point. From discussing with Jimmy, he said that he had surveyors from Haley Ward come out, I believe. I believe the engineering firm was behind that, to estimate the areas of the new features and the sections where the road, the paved road is now in place. So I got a few questions from reviewing this. Do any other commissioners have questions too?
No questions at this time?
I'll let you go first.
All right. And since we don't have Jimmy from Pioppi Construction here, Kyle, we might ask you a few of these questions too. But granted, we understand that there's a division of responsibilities based on what work was the contractor's responsibility versus what work was at the municipality level. So.
Yeah, Steve, it's all good. You can shoot. Maybe me or Bruce can provide some clarity.
Oh yeah, and Bruce, you were also involved in this project too for some of the initial work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, what's on your mind?
All right, so this is all relative in regards to the recorded plan that we received yesterday. Did you get a copy? I sent to Kyle, I included you in the email as well, so you get a copy of this. Bruce, did you see this?
No.
I didn't review it yet either. But
Okay.
I'm sure I can answer your questions.
All right. And some of this is relative to the plans. Pioppi Construction said they would provide 4 physical printed plans for us today, but they're not here yet, so we don't have printed copies of this. We just have a PDF that was sent. And some of these questions might be for the engineer as well. My first question was, in regards to the wetland flags that are indicated on these drawings, there are several series of flags, but the plans do not indicate when the wetland delineation was taken. Do you know if this wetland delineation was taken in regards to this project, or was this pre-existing information on record?
It got flagged probably 3 or 4 months before my team started. That was part of the preliminary process to even go out to bid. That was part of the services that Haley and Ward provided. I don't know if they brought on a Scientologist or they did it themselves, but it was.
No, they hired it out.
It was blue flagged, probably about a year ago.
Okay. Did they provide any like wetlands report or anything of that nature for their deliverable, or like anything, or was it because typically when you get a plan, if there's a wetland delineation on it, there will be a note to say like
There
what.
was some notes, criteria, absolutely.
All right. The Conservation Commission has not received any of that information, so if I can reach out to Haley and Ward, or you like.
Haley and Ward, they get paid to do it.
Okay, that information has not made it to the commission.
Right, right.
So I think that's where there's a disconnect here.
Sarah was involved at that time.
She has not passed that information on to us either.
So if I could like kind of just paint you a picture. Typically when you have wetlands on adjacent sides of the street, right? They're connected by a culvert, or a series of culverts, conduits under the roadway.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take a project like Gate Road, full depth reclamation, I provided the commission a detailed, pictured sort of summary of the entire job. So 14 of those culverts were buried under between 2 and 11 feet of debris. So that whole wetland system is no longer functioning as it was intended to. My team removed 400 cubic yards estimated of material, and Jimmy Piappi piggybacked off that, probably 600 plus more yards of material excavated from those critical wetlands in an attempt to reestablish them to act as intended. So it's really hard for the wetland scientists to even delineate the wetland based on the amount of sand, silt, debris, compost, peat, and hazardous materials that had destroyed it over the last 15 years. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's hard to say, just I see water, I blue flag it. It's more of, we're reconstructing this to actually function as it was intended. None of the inverts were changed, and so I would give it some time, and it'll readjust to the way it was supposed to be. But based on the work we did, I think you'll be happy with the results.
Okay, yeah, I mean, typically in the conservation permitting process, we would receive a notice of intent from an applicant with this information in it, so the commission could review it. Now, granted, Kyle, you did present us the culvert work that the highway department was handling. That was back in April. And that was an RDA because based on our assessment at that point, the indicated culverts were just being replaced. They were not being enlarged, and we established that the existing town-wide notice of intent would cover that work.
Exactly. And the two that were actually in the NEDEPHS critical endangered species, we were not replacing. So we had basically been given a green light for the entire project.
Given a green light for the culvert replacements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we first had to excavate to locate the culvert in order to see what the actual existing invert was. And there was a lot of exploratory excavation to even locate where these culverts were. And I have pictures and documentations of every excavation site with the amount of accumulated debris covering. Your inverts were gone. They were buried under 15 feet of dirt. So this whole system of conveying stormwater was non-existent. That's why the road was in the condition that it was in. That's why it was granted $1 million through MassWorks infrastructure to do a full depth reclamation. And I mean, I wasn't just going to fail by not replacing the drainage to bring it back to the way it was supposed to be.
Yep. Yeah, understood. But for us to review these plans without that background information on the wetland flagging, I'm glad that you on the plans that would come to us, so we don't know why we would have that context.
Typically, the engineer would locate all of the existing infrastructure, and you'd have benchmarks and you would have existing inverts. That was all impossible. Nobody knew where the pipes were on Gate Road. Nobody knew where the outfalls were, the storm drain discharges were. Nobody knew where the dropped inlets were. Nobody knew where your stormwater structures were because everything was so buried, broken, gone, root bound, rotted, and deteriorated. We were literally recreating a roadway.
Yeah.
And these are all facts.
You should have the report from Haley and Ward, though.
Yeah.
The wetland delineations.
Yeah, all the blue flags are still hanging out there.
No, the report itself.
Right. Yeah, having the report to back it up so we would have a record of when the delineation happened and any observations that were taken, because there are different ways to delineate wetlands. You can do it by plant species, you can do it by soil samples. Just having that information gives us more, more veracity to the observations, because on these plans right now, which understood that they are simply just a record of the work conducted up until this point, there's no accompanying information that gives us context as to where this delineation came from. So just having that just helps us. So if Haley and Ward has that on record, it would be helpful for us to see it.
Yeah, it was.
It was before your time, but it was there.
I'll look in the Gay Road file. It was previous to my
Okay,
employment.
okay, great, that'd be great. Now about that NHESP priority habitat area, on the plan that Haley and Ward provided us yesterday, it did indicate that there were some culverts replaced in that area. Do you know if culverts were replaced in that area?
It may have been a pipe extension, it may have been reinforced head wall, or or it may have been, which once they located it, they found that it was critical criteria and they swapped it out in kind. But that was Jimmy Guppy.
Hey Jimmy,
How you doing?
doing good. I'm Steve. We've been in correspondence the past few weeks. We're talking about the Gay Road construction project right now. So just had a few questions, and Kyle's been helping us out with a few of them so far. And you brought printed plans of the that Haley and Ward provided earlier this week, right?
Yep.
All right. Could you please share those with us?
Sure.
And also share them with these fine fellows over here.
Just one copy.
Yeah, 4 copies possibly, right? Maybe. I think that's what Andy might have said in his email.
Wasn't one of you guys can have them all.
That'd be great. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Are you two okay with sharing one?
Yeah. Just so you know, whatever Jimmy put on the print wasn't in the contract.
Wasn't what?
Wasn't in the contract.
Okay.
As
I'll
far as
stick it on the table.
what he's done now, to provide you this information, there is no as-built plans with this contract. Yeah, if any department in this town wants as-built contracts, we gotta go out and bid again for an engineer to draw those. Jimmy's not doing that.
Okay.
That's not in the contract.
Yeah, we did. Just
So even to provide these plans, there's gonna be a bill generated somewhere and go to someone.
Mm-hmm.
So to ask for plans, to ask somebody to go out for engineered plans, whether they're shop plans or not, to ask that and demand that there's a cost associated with that, time, labor, and engineer cost, and there will be a bill to follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way life is, if you ask for a service. So that's just knowledge, and it's gonna come down the pipeline.
Yeah.
And it's not included in the Gay Road project. The project is under strict guidelines. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. But we are beholden to enforce and administer the Wetlands Protection Act. There may be aspects of this project which are encroaching in protected resource areas or areas that are under jurisdiction of wetlands. Granted, some aspects of this are covered by the townwide NOI and covered by the RDA for the culvert replacements for the ones that were indicated for our approval. However, if there are areas of this road that were extended into protected resource areas, or there has been some other areas which fill has been added, we still have to address that.
No, understood, which that could have been addressed in a site visit.
It could have been addressed through a
So
notice of
since
intent.
we asked of engineered as-built, there's a large cost associated with these plans that we now hold and we now own as a town.
Yep,
Large.
understood.
Okay.
But the cost that, for a violation could be even steeper than that.
I beg to differ.
Okay. Because we're just trying to do our job here. We're not trying to cause any problems, but if there's been work that's been done, like when we've been on the road, there have been no sediment controls in place. And this is the plan that we have before us right now. It does indicate additional culverts that we didn't necessarily approve, but to be clear, the ones that matter to us are those that are underneath jurisdiction of the Wetlands Protection Act. So if there are culverts that were replaced that are outside the scope of wetlands or not within the buffer zone, that's not our concern. The ones that are of concern for the Wetlands Protection Act are those that are within that jurisdiction land. And there are a couple on these plans that fall underneath that category, so we just need to make sure that we're in good standing when it comes to that.
So I just wanted to clarify that if you want as-built, we're gonna have to go to the town to acquire that type of money for true as-built plans.
Yeah, understood. But it's beneficial for us to have this information so we can see the work that has been done, because we did not get a notice of intent for the road reconstruction project. We got a notice of intent for the replacement of, I believe it was 4 culverts. Is that right, Kyle? Do you recall the number?
I don't recall, no.
Yeah.
So there was a transition of contractors on site, right? You know what I mean? My team did work for 6 months, and then it was transitioned to the contract.
Right.
So we're gonna separate and divide those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many of the 12 were actually,
Do you have your microphone on?
how many of the 12 were actually adjacent or in buffer zones, or actually in wetlands altogether for those culvert replacements?
I mean, based on the drawings that we have here, the red lines indicate the new drainage structures. The ones that have wetland flagging on them, it's only a few. So,
Yeah.
Page 2 and 3.
yeah. So on page 2, there's these wetland flags here in teal.
Did see that.
So we have that culvert pipe there. So that's one. On page 3,
As a project manager, do you have that number at the top of your head?
How many were replaced in total, or how many were replaced in
Well,
buffer
there
zones and
12
adjacent
in
wetlands?
total?
Total?
Yeah.
In my profession, I think everything was changed out,
But it was 12?
12, 13 maybe?
How
Okay.
many were in
And,
wetlands?
yeah, how many were actually in wetlands themselves?
One
One.
in flats, yeah. 2, 1 maybe 2 in the habitat area.
And is that including bordering vegetated wetland?
I saw sporadic some down here and there, but outside of our scope of work, but within the buffer zone.
It seems like this project was kind of rushed, honestly.
yeah, the one the one culvert that drew my attention to, and it's one that we've also been on site visits for to look at. It's the one that's near 20. What page is this on? I believe it's page 3. Is that right? It's near like 24 Gay Road thereabouts. But it's the one with the open, if you're driving down the road, down Gay Road, going towards Sturbridge. It's the one it's the one where there's that open water area with the riprap embankment, the cross culvert there.
Yeah, that's why I was missing it.
On the plans there, it
24?
seemed like the
Is it
edge
24?
of pavement might now have extended to where the wetlands were previously flagged. I'm looking at the drawings right now, the printed ones, and I'm not seeing it, but on the,
I do see it at,
what page is that on, Bill?
Oh, yeah,
The page numbers are in the bottom right corner.
34, 35 feet.
3.
To like 20.
Page 3.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
So in that particular culvert,
Edge
12-inch corrugated metal, the downstream side was buried with sediment. The upstream
Oh, there it
side
is.
was blocked, submerged in 4.5
Oh,
feet
this
of
is
water. Water was up
All along
to
here,
road
it's pretty
height.
huge, actually.
During the exploratory on that, we looked at an invert -4 feet. The invert was actually 8 inches embedded underneath the edge of existing pavement. So, yes, when you change out that pipe, you will never put that edge of pipe underneath your roadway. You're always gonna want to extend that out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why shop drawings show that.
Got it.
I don't think the asphalt's in the wetlands any more than it was or anything. I think it's moved away.
And, as you know, Steve, in the NEPA HS areas, we are allowed to work within 7 feet of edge of existing pavement. We did not meet or exceed 7 feet on either side of the road.
Yeah, the only thing that requires permitting based on the townwide NOI is culvert replacements.
Yeah, no, we didn't even know it was there. Like I
Right.
said,
Yeah, so, but the plans that were provided, so the NHESP area, it's a like 34 to 48 gay road. And in that area, there are four, on these plans that we received yesterday, there are 4 culverts that are indicated as being new installations. So if those are new installations, those should have received, at the very least, approval from,
I don't think, I think there's only one new culvert.
It's 38.
so this could be a mistake on the plans then,
Hey,
or
it's
an
22.6
inaccuracy on
next
the
page.
plans.
That's a lot of,
Inaccuracy or change order on site. Leave that culvert
this,
alone.
and then all of the next
Do
one.
some proper ditching, the water will flow to it instead of adding another one.
Yeah, 39, that's 38.
Yeah, this is primarily on page 4.
That's 44. That must be part of that, yeah.
There's no wetlands there.
There's no wetlands per there's no wetland flags on this section here, so,
so I guess overall, like I said, oversight on my part, as he's doing his day-to-day operations, if we felt the need for a change order and
Paperwork.
an additional culvert to convey stormwater, it would be unrealistic for me to have him cease and desist work to meet the next conservation meeting to ask for permission to write the proper permitting, and this is, you're talking about months of lag time, you know what I mean? We didn't even meet our deadline for project completion as it is. But I see where you're coming from. It should have been an email, a site visit, and a decision.
But there was no culvert added in wetlands.
no?
No, this is the one by mine.
Right.
I mean, very honestly, the old discharge.
Right. The wetlands are,
Did they get the wetlands?
the wetlands are 50 feet off the road.
Yeah.
They're beyond a stone wall.
We never went beyond that stone wall in any of the work.
So you're looking on page 3, per your key,
We did put a driveway culvert in.
well, there's that one there too. Page 3, adjacent to 30 Gay Road, connecting to 29 Gay Road. Your red line denotes a new culvert, correct? New drain line, it says. And from what you have listed for wetland delineation with the blue line, it shows definitive lines that are crossing into,
Is the pond. So, all right, go back to the,
What number you want again?
page 3.
yep.
What house number?
Like A6 in that area on the
Well,
print.
what station, what road
8.
station?
That's between 30 Gay Road and 29 Gay Road. It's crossing the road. Not the one
A6
adjacent
on
to
the
it.
drawing, that section, A6. And your A and your 6.
There's only one crossing the road on page 3.
Yep.
Oh, that's an existing culvert.
Why is it listed as a new line?
New as in changed,
Replaced.
replaced.
Yeah, and that's one of the culverts that was covered by the RDA that the highway department submitted.
Right.
So the only concern there would be is if wetlands were filled, in my opinion.
And like I said, to remove 1,000 cubic yards.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The wetlands are negative 1,000 yards now, and the buffer zones are negative 1,000 yards. There was no wetland fill.
I don't see where you're saying.
So if you remove wetlands, then there's the question of remediation.
Sure, we can bring in fill if that's what's necessary.
Well, normally when you do that, you have to have, hydric soil that matches the soil that was there, so you're supposed to keep
In the
that
right of
soil.
way?
What's that?
In the right of way?
According to Wetlands Protection Act, right?
Well, so we put gravel in the right of way to protect the road and the edge of the road.
I mean, keep in mind, like, I don't want to take this the wrong way, but we have to build a safe road that lasts. And a road has to have shoulders that are structurally stable.
So in the event that you can't replicate in the exact area, replication should take place in another area with
It's hydrologically connected to the same
hydrologically
wetlands.
connected with
Oh,
the
yes.
similar elevation.
But I'm missing the point where we put in more than we took out. We removed mud as a shoulder of the road, replaced the mud with gravel.
And some stumps,
Yeah, I mean, there was,
trees and stumps.
we didn't take out, a slope that reached out 4 feet into the wetlands and put in a slope that reached out 8 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, my assessment here is just trying to look at these draw.
A little bit right there.
So are we talking about like like an 8x8, so like
Not
80 cubic foot wetland replication, is that what we're looking for?
Possibly, but in order for us to make an assessment like that, we would need further investigation. Like at tonight, I don't want to issue any orders because we don't have a notice of intent. We're not going to give you an order of conditions. We just want to get a feel for what work has been done and whether performance standards can be met to just kind of set this in good standing.
Well, should you all just meet out there with Jimmy or myself or Kyle or all of us?
I mean, we've done a couple site visits in the past. I think that would be a great next step now that we have something to reference about in regards to the work that has been done.
Rain on Friday, take away the snow and ice we have, and
Yeah, absolutely.
might get a clear view.
Yeah, and based on our last meeting, that was our intention, is to have a site visit, but we wanted plans to reference based on the work that has been done, because
Let's
of
meet
our,
Friday then, that sounds perfect. During the rain, we can see the way the stormwater conveys.
You might want to let it melt first.
Interesting.
and another thing that would be of interest to the Conservation Commission would be the banks that are in these areas within jurisdiction, how they're going to be stabilized.
Riprap, it's in place.
And that's the extent of it, just riprap and,
What more would you expect?
well, typically information like that will be established in a order of conditions.
What
But,
would you use other than riprap on a 2-to-1 slope?
well, based on the
I'm just
steep,
asking a question.
I'm not a wetland scientist or specialist. In a situation like this, we typically would have a professional give guidance on that based on site conditions. So as a commissioner, I don't have the experience to give recommendations like
Is
that.
anybody on your board?
No, we're all commissioners, we're not wetland
Let's
specialists.
look at the site
Yeah,
and then make your determinations, right?
I mean, determinations for next steps, basically.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds perfectly good to me.
Do you want to ask the rest of your questions?
The only other question that I had is, this is an area that I mentioned in a past email, and it's near the power line crossing, there's a gravel turnaround area, and it seems like there were some wood chips and debris that were deposited in the wetlands in that area. That work may have happened prior to your involvement, Jimmy?
It's a dump. That's what it is. I mean, every time you turn around, somebody dumps something out there. They do.
Turn pages. Pardon my
Yeah,
apologies.
but it's just an area that I think we would perhaps request restoration for.
That's actually a perfect area to do a wetland replication.
Well, sorry, not replication, because,
Restoration,
What you're saying, you think we might have expanded that
Oh, wetland
turnaround area?
Yeah, if you did a replication, you'd have to run some sort of a swale and a culvert to get to it, and
yeah,
I don't think
I
we did.
think we can definitely.
I do
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I do know we took a half a dozen stumps out of there that somebody tossed over the edge.
so you made things better in some ways.
And I do know we took half of,
Kelton's truck was trash on the
every time we turn around, they'll dump trash in there.
Yeah,
But
Everything
look
else was
at it,
drag,
right?
everything
Yeah,
else was drag out of
right,
the woods
and that's what I'm just suggesting here, is that something that we notice as an area that may have been disturbed from this project? When it happened, we don't know, but it appears that it has happened within the past year, based on what observations that are on record then and observations as of now.
Sure.
So it's just something for us to look into.
And am I correct in assuming that none of us has confirmed that the road has technically been widened, that it was just reported to us?
So it has, the pavement width has been widened
It has, 100%, okay.
from 19 to 20, variable 21 in spots.
Okay.
But that's well within the right of way. And the right of way being 37 feet, right? So 50 variable around some of your radiuses and your turns. So as a safety measure, yes, we widened the road roughly 12 inches of asphalt because the road was requested to be center
Yeah.
10-foot lanes.
And from the conservation's perspective, we don't want to get in the way of safety by any means. But it's kind of more along the lines of, if the road was widened in areas that are underneath jurisdiction, then that's a potential concern for the Wetlands Protection Act. That's it. Because the townwide notice of intent covered routine maintenance.
So that was my
Right.
decision to land on that 21 feet of consistency. And that was in the plans, preliminary plans. That was, going forward, that was the plan from square one when Haley and Ward did write the original plans. On the first round of maps that we all received and went over while my team was doing the work.
Yeah, but when you say we all received that, the conservation did not receive that until last month.
No, the ones I gave you 6-7 months ago in my office.
You didn't give us,
The original roadway improvement project showed 21 feet of asphalt.
we did not get those plans. Maybe Sarah did, but that was not shared with the commission. And I'm not even suggesting that Sarah did. But what we got presented with at the culvert replacements part of the project was just a,
So I won't necessarily use the word widened, right, because it was 23 in spots and 19 in others.
17 and others.
So we went for a 21-foot consistency,
Mhm.
is what we did, so.
yeah. And the drawings that were provided as of yesterday now indicate the new width of road. And if you look closely at the drawings, it also has the original approximate width of road. So you can see the 19 to 21 to 23.
We're debating over a couple inches here and there.
Well,
I don't think it's the inches or feet that's of issue here. I think the concern is, there is hesitation over, whether or not we should even have a townwide NOI. And, there's,
We don't have a town like that, we have like order of conditions.
yeah, I think that's a different topic altogether.
but
I think for routine maintenance, it's a good thing to have, given
Yes.
the amount of wetlands that we
Yes.
have in Brookfield. But
Does this
There
fall
needs
into
to be-
that scope is the question.
right, right, and that's why I think why we're here, as opposed to, like, yeah, ideally we would have received a notice of intent for the road reconstruction part of this project, because we're kind of just patching up a lack of permitting for this project now, which is why things are a little bit difficult for us. We have to uphold the Wetlands Protection Act, and that's why we're doing our best to assess these plans that we have in front of us now. We could have done it better had a notice of intent been submitted to us prior to this project starting, but we didn't get there, so now we're just trying to do our best to see what the next steps are. So I think next steps is we have plans in hand that depict the work as it currently stands. We can do a site visit to assess the areas of note from what we see here, and then we can make some judgment as to next steps from there. And I think that's the best that we can do.
And we can go back and dig up records from Haley and Ward as to the flagging, when it was done. Get a map of that.
Well, it's shown.
It is shown, but we don't have information about like when the wetlands were delineated and how they were delineated. Like typically when the Conservation Commission receives a notice of intent, it has a document that describes how that wetland delineation was done. But this plan in front of us is not stamped by an engineer. It just has flagging on it, but we don't, like, having the information about where the flagging came from does give us confidence that it's thorough and correct. So that's, like, as Bruce mentioned, if that's on record, that would be of great benefit to the commission.
I know that, they didn't do it.
But that's all I have for questions.
Are you going to arrange the date for a site visit?
Would you like me to?
I believe so.
So I heard Kyle said Friday, but many of us work full-time day jobs. And I know you also have your own day jobs too, so it's really a matter of like, what's a time that we could coordinate among all of us? So I think getting to it,
It's dark.
and it is dark, yeah, being this time of year too, it gets dark very soon. And holidays too. Like,
Getting it posted.
we have to post it if we're meeting as a quorum. If we're meeting as a sub-quorum, like, say, 3 of us, because we're,
Yeah, okay.
I'll be in Vermont, so I'll take it.
okay, so you'll set this one out?
Without having a quorum, as long as we don't debate anything within our.
You can, but it's touchy,
Yeah, so,
but yeah,
you keep a distance from each other.
right.
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk. Yeah, that's a lot of meeting though.
But hey, if we can get three of us, I think I think if we can get three of us, which would be less than a quorum, it gives us greater flexibility to ask questions and things of that nature. I mean, Saturday and Sunday availability is much better for me personally because I work all day. But, you know, if other commissioners have weekday availability, we could consider that too. Or if it's really pressing, we could schedule something for the day and I could do my best to attend too.
My guess is that you won't get the Haley and Ward support you want on Saturday or Sunday.
Well, the Haley and Ward support, I don't know if it's necessary for the site visit. The Haley and Ward support, I think, would be the documents that brought them to the information that's on here, like the wetland flag delineation, like what was the report for that.
Okay.
I don't think we necessarily need them. Like they surveyed this and they provided these plans. I think the plans are kind of more, or the information we need is like what work was actually done, because there's indicators here of new drainage being placed, but we have the people here who know whether it was done. Haley and Ward, I don't think we need their help with that
Okay.
site visit part.
How
of
about
it.
your side? Who can be there on Friday?
And it doesn't have to be this week. It doesn't have to be next week, because that's Christmas, damn it. But,
Except if it snows,
You lose it all.
I mean, yeah, we might have to play it by the weather, given the time of year it is.
Sunday, I have a question for everybody.
I can do Sunday. Sunday's great for me.
You gotta do it early, you gotta do it for me, but I'm just one person.
I could do Sunday if it was early, yeah, but not,
How about everybody else? Or anybody else who's interested in attending?
All that awesome work you did on Sunday morning.
No, just check.
I'm not available on Sunday.
All right.
Be available Sunday in the morning.
You
Would be.
would be? Okay. So it sounds like three of us will be, and I think that's perfect.
I think I'm gonna select the time at 8 a.m. I'm just kidding. You
That
guys
late?
could-
All right. So tentatively Sunday, do we have so early? You said, Bill? Early is better? Like,
well, not early, but it's Sunday after all.
See,
or how about, well, Jimmy, you brought up Sunday. What time were you thinking?
don't ask him,
Don't ask
okay?
me.
Do that, do not ask, he'll tell you daybreak.
Yeah, let's wait until the sun is at least up. Do we want to aim for like, well, does anybody have any time
The
constraints?
earlier the better. Everybody can get on with the day.
Do you want to aim for 8, 9?
Why not?
Is 8 too early? You can be honest. It works for me.
I don't think it's-
I,
I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning anyways. I always want to try to sleep in, but I don't,
do you want to do 8:30? Is that okay? Is 8:30?
so. Let's just choose something and run with
I
it.
think you should go with 8. But I'm not gonna be there, so.
All
Yeah, 'cause
right.
you're not gonna be there, you want 8 a.m.
I get up at 5:30 with my chickens.
All right. Well, let's aim for this Sunday, 8:30.
8:30.
Yes. Just to give some grace in case anybody's having a little bit of trouble getting on with their day, while still keeping it early enough.
This guy works from, you don't want to know his hours. You
You
don't
wanna meet at the power lines?
Yeah, I was gonna say where,
Place
at
the park.
the power lines?
Yeah, that sounds good.
We're gonna look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can start there and then we can coordinate from there.
Down to that section.
You said 3 commissioners is the most?
Yeah, 3 commissioners. So I'll send out an email so we can finalize who will be there, but it sounded like we have at least 3, maybe 4. So Steve, you said you have availability?
Yes.
Bill, you have availability? Did- You believe you do? All right. And I do as well, so that gives us 4, so if one of us can't make it, we at least have, we have redundancy in that case. But come Sunday morning, we'll decide for sure. All right. Okay, cool. I think that gives us next steps. Does anybody else have any questions? Do you have questions for us?
Yeah. Did you say complaints?
Complaints?
In your opening statement about Gay Road?
Yes.
I'd like to hear some complaints.
All right, well, the complaint that the Conservation Commission received was an anonymous complaint that was submitted to Mass DEP. We spoke about it at our last Conservation Commission meeting, so Becky Gendro from Mass DEP called me at the beginning of last month, November, and said that she received an anonymous complaint on Gay Road from the construction of the roadway there. This was a phone call, so I took notes and summarized it in that last meeting. The recording of that meeting is also available.
You mentioned it today, that's why I'm asking.
This is what triggered this entire process, but then the Conservation Commission did a site visit along with Scott Slowoski from Highway to kind of assess the conditions there. So we did a site visit, took observations. We had some immediate recommendations based on the site conditions. I asked Kyle to add some sediment controls as an imminent remediation because there were some areas where the cross culverts basically were the areas of concern, in my opinion, because there were not straw wattles set up there. It's like, well, please put those in, and they took action on that immediately, which was good. But beyond that, at this point, we're just trying to figure out, like, what was the scope of the work that's been done? Because the complaint also mentioned some other things about the road being widened into wetlands, culverts being ripped out, stockpiling of materials within wetlands and things of that nature. And it's like, at that point, we're trying to do our best as a commission to play catch up on a project that was not submitted to us for a notice of intent. So it's like, we got this complaint from Mass DEP, so the state is aware of it, but at a local level, this project was not submitted to us, beyond the culvert replacements that the highway department submitted.
The state's aware of the project also.
The state is absolutely aware of the project.
Before this, because they were out there.
But when you say the state, do you mean Mass DEP?
Yes.
Then the wetland specialist or like the wetlands department?
The project.
I mean, I know as far as, we did a site visit because there was a complaint submitted for the culvert replacements too, and Kyle joined us for the site visit on that as well. I sent the commission an invite for that, but I was the only one who was able to attend that morning. But we assessed that that was an anonymous complaint sent to Mass DEP as well for that.
I just want to be clear that DEP has visited the site already.
Do you know who?
Yeah, Rebecca, and she had no findings.
I actually spoke to her last Saturday. We were working on a road that she lives on, and I questioned her about it. And she actually travels through there to work occasionally. She told me she didn't see anything that stood out. It was just, I think, like you said, the formalities of permitting.
Yeah.
The thing that's a little irritating to me, though, is, from my perspective, complaints, legitimate complaints are well received, and if we're doing something that we need to look at, fine, but anonymous is not, I don't get the anonymous. To me, an anonymous complaint is anonymous.
It was an anonymous complaint.
So if somebody doesn't have let's put it, show up.
We can't pick and choose.
Yeah, we have to respond to all complaints, and there can be
Consider the source, right?
yeah, there can be genuine reasons for submitting an anonymous complaint. However, if there are individuals who feel that they might be targeted for whatever reason based on submitting a complaint, if they've had difficulties with the Conservation Commission or the municipality, I don't think we're a difficult bunch. But if somebody had some contention with us, they might not want to submit it to us.
It's just a question.
Yeah, but either way, we have to respond to complaints, and we have to look into it, and that's what we've done. And that's why we're here right now, just trying to make the best of the situation, because I think the part that the entire town missed on this was making sure that there is a designated person who submits this project for conservation approval. We did not get that.
I've already spoken.
All right.
Anyway, I don't think we're gonna get any more
Yeah,
on this.
Yeah,
I think we
we
just
have
move
our
on.
next steps in order, and
Okay?
we'll work from there.
Yeah, so I'll send out an email to all parties so we can schedule that site visit and finalize. Sunday, 8:30 a.m. is the current date.
I mean, we should have it. It doesn't come, so I'll take one of those. They'll-
Yeah, we'll take a copy as well.
Oh, you can, I mean, they're all.
Awesome. Okay,
I
cool.
have a good idea what's up.
And just a comment on that, on the future, I mean, I think we can do electronic.
We do have an electric con. I sent it to all. I sent it
Yeah, I don't
to
think
the
we
commission.
can get paper copies. I think that's what you'll get charged for. Just letting you
This is not
know. Oh, okay.
this is not our bill. This is the town's bill, but we will have to figure that out.
Yes.
Anyway,
Thank you.
all set. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate you all coming out,
Thank you.
and thank you for providing these plans.
Yep, we'll see you Sunday.
Yep, thank you.
At work. work, we get them electronic from the engineer as they go for free, and then we
Yeah,
ask them. to
I
print it.
shared them with the commission as soon as I got them. I sent
Yeah.
them yesterday.
Yeah, I know, I saw it. I missed that there were wetlands on page 4.
So Steve, I think, I don't think we're gonna be able to keep to our 1 hour ideal, right? But,
No, and we also have a time, we do,
7 o'clock, right? Friday?
yeah, we have a cutoff for that too. So I'm gonna kind of rush through these next agenda items, the ones that are not pressing, we can revisit next meeting.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Agenda item number 2, Conservation Commission practices complaint. Excuse me, can you please focus on the agenda? All right, thank you so much. All right, the next agenda item is Conservation Commission practices, complaints, violations, and enforcement. This is an item that I've added because we have received several complaints in recent times, and I think as a commission, we should kind of establish a plan for that. So as of meeting material, I shared a wetlands enforcement manual provided by DEP. I would request that commissioners read that to give us some idea of our options for assessing complaints and process for enforcement. Enforcement is basically the highest level of action that we can take, and if we are taking that action, I highly advise that we document sincerely the conditions before pursuing that, because I think that's where we get the most, we can get into the most contentious trouble with things gone sideways.
Understood.
We
can go into more detail on that next meeting, though.
If anybody, I don't know, when I started up, actually I paid for it myself, but there were questions that we could get printed copies of that from our wetland fund.
Okay,
Oh, printed copies of this?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I put the PDF on the meeting materials. It's about 100 pages, so there's a lot in there, but if you look at the sections, it breaks it down, so you can, I'd say within like a half hour, you can get a good idea of that, but we can go into more detail on that in a future meeting.
It hasn't been updated in 20 years?
No, but it's still relevant, except for the page URLs. There's website URLs on there, they're all broken, but the information in there is still great.
Okay.
But that is the latest copy of it.
Well, it's fairly new if it's a government document.
Yeah. All right, but we can talk about that more in the future. Next item this is an item from previous meetings too. It's a 54 West Main Street follow-up on conservation restriction/donation. Last meeting, we discussed who would assist with that project, kind of reassigning personnel. Megan, I believe you have volunteered to reach out to the property owner, if I'm...
I didn't reach out to the property owner, but I did some research online and reached out to
The land trust?
conservation, or the Commonwealth tax credit. So I'm just waiting to hear back from them.
Okay.
See like what the process is exactly. But there is in Brookfield, there's the Opacum land trust that she can donate it to, and then also right across the street is the Quabog land as well.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully I'll get some guidance on the steps that she can take.
Okay, cool. So we can revisit that next meeting, once
Yeah.
you've heard back from those sources.
And there is a house on that land, right?
I don't believe so.
No? Okay.
No, I think it's vacant land.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, okay, so it's great that you've reached out, and we can gather more information for next meeting, and
Yeah.
we can guide the property owner at that point. All right, great, sounds good.
Should we provide her an update, so it's not like we're silenced?
Yeah, I think we should. I can send that if,
Oh, sorry.
I can send that, and I'll copy the others who are involved in this project. So I think last meeting we established that it was Megan, myself, and Steve, right? So I'll copy you all on the email, just so we can give the property owner an update,
Yeah.
because it has been a while. There's been some reassignments of who can help based on our own bandwidth. All right, cool, sounds good. Anything else on that? All right, let's keep moving. All right, next item, planning for conservation land in town. This is from our last agenda as well. Bill, you brought this up 2 meetings ago, and I think we can table this for next meeting too,
Yeah.
since we're not gonna make any motions on that before then. Next item's really quick too, 20 Central Street, notification of release abatement measure plan. 20 Central Street is Gavitt Wire. So we received a piece of mail, the Conservation Commission received their abatement measure plan, and basically there was petroleum spill and lead on that land in the past, and they are doing cleanup on that. It's not in wetlands, but they still sent the mail to Conservation Commission, so I just wanted to provide a public notice of that being done. So basically, they're excavating that contaminated soil and disposing of it with environmental concerns in place.
Is there anything that we need to do? I was a little
No.
confused as why they sent it to us.
Yeah, it's really outside of our purview.
Okay.
So
I don't think we have a environmental commission, though. We don't have somewhere else in Brookfield for it to go.
yeah, so it's probably
Okay.
just sent to us by default. But it is outside of wetlands, so it's not really covered in our responsibility. But since the mail came our way, I figured I'd make the announcement. All right, next item, fiscal year 2027 budget request and planning. So our town accountant sent us a request to submit our budget request for the next fiscal year. And I shared that email with the commissioners. Basically want us to justify our budget. I did do a little bit of assessment on what we currently have, and that gives an idea for next year. She wants us by January 15th, so that'll be before our next meeting. But for this past fiscal year, we have a budget of $1,800, and the main things that would cover would be wetlands fundamental training for up to 3 commissioners, the full 8 courses. And it also covers our MACC membership dues. And it does still give us about almost $100 to still work with past that. So up until this point in the year, we've only spent $632 of our $1,800 allocated budget. So I think we're probably pretty comfortable to stay with our current budget for the next year.
I agree.
And we still have some room for some other additional things, like Billy mentioned, guidebooks. Other topics that have come up in the past are pretty small items that we can account for if we all do not pursue that training. It can also, in substitute for training, we can cover like the MACC Fall Conference, like you, Megan, you attended that this year. So I think our current budget's fine. Anybody else have a?
I just have a question.
Sure.
Is our budget like a use it or lose it for next year?
Yes,
Because
anything that we don't spend gets returned to free cash for the town.
Oh, no, I meant like, so are they gonna look at like what we've used this year and be like, oh, well, you only used 600, so why do you need $800? Or
Probably
1,800?
not. The advisory committee might look into it and make a suggestion like that. But if we provide a statement to, for this fiscal year budget planning request and say we would like this full amount and justify why we want it, I don't think that's going to really be a concern.
Okay.
I agree.
But there will be a conversation about it if they feel like we should get less money.
I do have 2 invoices to turn in. I just have to email them to you.
Yes, please do. And I can get that submitted for our next meeting. All right, thank you, Paul. Okay, anybody else have any budget recommendations? No? All right.
Somebody mentioned something about vests at one point.
Yes, high visibility vests.
Yeah, not getting shot vest.
Yeah, I don't think we need to necessarily add budget to that, but yeah, we can assess that, even with our current budget,
Right, yeah, so
depending
I
on what
would
we
think-
have left. All right, next item, review and approve minutes. I think we can table this. Holly is not here to provide those minutes, and the open meeting minutes for 12/3/2025 are not due yet. It is just a page of saying we entered executive session, so we can
yeah.
do that later. Okay, then next we have topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours before the meeting. I don't think anything needs to be addressed today. So our final item is to enter executive session. Executive session purpose number 3, to discuss strategy. Oh, I'm going to make a motion. All right. I make a motion to enter executive session for purpose number 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares. And I so declare. And the purpose of this is to review and approve executive session minutes for 12/3/2025 and to discuss the court case in Worcester Superior Court, case number 2485CV00888 from David et al. Versus Town of Brookfield Conservation Commission. And we will not reconvene in open session after this.
Second.
Any discussion?
Oh, sorry.
No.
Oh, I think we need a second. All in favor? We need a roll call vote, so say your name and aye.
Steve Santucci, aye.
Krista Reeves Hall, aye.
Bill Meeker, aye.
Megan Crane, aye.
Paul Spencer, aye.
Steve Carmen, aye. All right, thank you. And we can close the meeting here, and we're going to relocate to another area so the select board can get ready for their meeting at 7 o'clock. All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to the town administrator's office upstairs. Because we don't have a town administrator.
Make sure that nobody's listening outside the door.
We can close the door and if we want to appoint a sentry to,
The double folded ones, they were all.
We had somebody,
Oh,
floating
yeah?
down the stairs before we could,
yeah, it was all that.
Double in school.
Now, Kristen, I know that you have to leave
Back
pretty soon
upstairs
too.
in the
If you have to head out before we wrap this up.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Back upstairs in the closet, is that?
Yeah, which
Kinda,
gives
yeah.
us 10 minutes.
Up in the
Yep.
admin.
I'm sorry.
No, no, glad that we were able to attend, as far as we could.
Yeah, it was the last minute, and I'm like, well, I can go to the committee. And so my husband's like, so you're still not having dinner? Nope.
All right. I'm gonna stop the Teams meeting as well.